What's up, everybody? I am the wicked geek of the West, and I'm joined today by Who's Yo Daddy? That's right, Nate Camacho.
The two-time. They call me the two-time.
Welcoming Elwood to the Those Who Geek family.
He's chilling. He's chilling to my left.
He's chilling over there. Yeah. Anyways, this is the MCU Revisited, where we rewatch, rank, and geek out over every MCU movie in order for your entertainment, posted on YouTube and all that good stuff. So like, subscribe, and if you're wondering, oh, most of the time it's 3 people, right? Yes, maybe we might have a fun surprise in the, well, fun is debatable, but a surprise in the middle of this
interruption is also another word for it.
Mm-hmm.
Distraction.
Yeah. But Nate, what are we revisiting today?
We are revisiting Thor.
That's right.
That's simple. 4 words, your whole movie.
4 words?
4 words. Also known as letters.
And you might be asking, like, hey, this is a Marvel podcast. Why are you wearing a DC shirt? And I'm like, hey, I can geek out over everything, okay? Shut up. Mind your business. Okay.
I bet Daddy didn't even watch the movie, by the way. Did you watch it with him?
No.
There's a possibility he hasn't even seen it anyway.
He told me yesterday that he saw it. No, he told me today that he saw it last night. We'll see if it's true.
I believe.
Anyways, Nate.
Because I didn't watch it.
Yeah,
I'm joking.
You didn't. What did you think of Thor, and did anything change when you rewatched it?
Yeah, Thor was okay. It's not as bad as I remember, and I think that's what's changed. Okay. It's weird because I remember saying, like, Thor's not that bad, it's fine. It's just meh. And then as, Thor the Dark World came out, I think it kind of tainted the first Thor as well. Because then Ragnarok came out, and it's like, well, Ragnarok's the good one, and the other 2 are garbage. But that's not true. Dark World's garbage. First one's fine. And yeah, I think what's changed is that I think since we've been able to spend so much time with these characters, specifically Thor and Loki, in the universe, and other Thor movies and other Avengers movies and other Marvel shows, it is actually given this movie more weight. Because, in my opinion, the characters are a lot more believable because I've seen them so much. Whereas at the time when this movie came out, it's like, okay, the way Thor acts and the things that Loki does.
Yeah. I can see that. Especially for me, it was the Thor, the Loki show that really amplifies that. Especially since we're not far off from where that character actually goes into the Loki show. But also for me, we'll get into what, like, some things that changed with me. In particular for me, it was the CGI. Like, that was a huge thing for me. I didn't remember it being as bad as it is.
Really? I didn't think it was that bad.
For me it's pretty bad.
What happened?
Also for me, like, there was that moment when Thor, like, she tries to lift the hammer, and then from that instant he's all like, oh, I'm a good person now. And it's just like, that was a really hard switch that just happened. I remembered it being a lot smoother of a transition, but, like, for me, those 2 negatives, but everything else was like, yeah, actually it's not as bad as I remembered too. So
yeah,
that's good. Um, how many times have you seen Thor? You can remember.
Probably like four times.
4?
I've
Okay.
seen Thor 4 times.
I think I'm at 3. I think because I saw it once during the whole MCU, and I think I saw it once again when I was rewatching everything for Endgame. I think so. I think this is my 3rd time watching it. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting conversation. Where would you rank Thor in the MCU?
Just
Like the importance. Sorry,
okay. I
the
was about to say we're
importance to
doing
the
the big
MCU.
one at the top.
My bad. No. Sorry.
Dude, I think
Where
it's pretty massively important
I think so too.
because like every other movie, Hulk, Iron Man 2, they're all on Earth dealing with humans. And then Thor just like blows the universe up. It shows you like there's 9 realms. And like, yeah, we're only really dealing with Asgard and Jotunheim, but
Mhm.
like it clearly alludes to there's so much more to this universe.
Which is crazy. This is something else I like. It like blew my mind. I'm like, why did I not think about this before? Because I was, since this movie came out, I've gotten a lot more into Norse mythology because of God of War and because of Assassin's Creed Valhalla and all these games that I play. And I've investigated a lot more on Norse mythology. But with this one, I've realized Thor is an alien.
Yeah.
And
He's
all those
Asgardian.
other, the ice giants and everything, they're just different planets.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
And the Rainbow Bridge and everything, it's just a form of space travel. It's like going to light speed, except you don't need a ship. I
Yeah.
was like,
It's a wormhole, to use the terms that they say. What did you
yeah.
think before?
Before I thought it was like, I don't know. I thought it was just like Norse mythology where there was like, because at that point we hadn't been introduced to like different planets or
Yeah.
anything. So I thought, okay, in the MCU, there's just these different, there's these different realms, just like Norse mythology, and that exists in the MCU,
Interesting. But in
and
reality,
it
it's
was
just their way of saying different planets.
planets.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm like, that's interesting. Like you could actually go to Asgard in a ship.
Yeah. Damn, bro, you didn't know that?
I don't or maybe it just
It just
clicked
didn't
in this
click for
one,
you, bro. They make it
Yeah.
obvious, dude. They have that whole moment.
Especially in Ragnarok, they do.
Yeah. They have that whole moment with the notebook where it's like she has her sketch of the planets, and then he's like, look, it's a tree.
Yeah.
It's Yggdrasil.
Yep. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
If you can tell, it's been a long while since I've seen this movie, so.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I think yeah, let's start off giving you some marvelous facts.
Well, we didn't rank it in the importance yet.
Yeah, I know. But since we were talking about like the planets and everything, I wanted to to give this one. I think this is the most suitable one. When Dr. Eric Selvig is in the library looking at the Book of Norse Mythology, there is an illustration of Odin walking across the Bifrost Bridge with his Gungnir spear in one hand and the Tesseract in another. In Captain America, the First Avenger, the Red Skull mentions that the Tesseract was a jewel of Odin's treasure room.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Anyways, back to MCU importance, though. Where would you rank it?
It's tough, dude. It's tough, bro. Well, give us a rundown on the current ranking as it stands, Winston.
Iron Man 2, Iron Man, Incredible Hulk.
I'm trying to remember what our thought process was for giving. Okay, Iron Man, yeah, it did like expand the universe a lot.
Yeah, it started it all. And then Iron Man 2, though, it had Black Widow, it had Agent Coulson in it, and it had
a bunch more Shield stuff.
A bunch
War
of more
Machine.
Shield stuff. War Machine, yep.
Dude, it's tough, bro. Cause like, yes, this introduces the entire Asgardian side of the universe, but like the Asgardian side of the MCU kind of only matters in Thor's movies, you know? don't matter that much in the Avengers movies. Loki does. You know, I'm gonna put it over Iron Man 2 just
I
because
would,
like
yeah,
Loki is one of the big time characters. Honestly, potentially more than Thor in the whole MCU.
yeah,
Like right
yeah,
there. And like that alone, you know, the fact that it drops into like leading characters in one movie. I think that could, and then on top of the fact that it opens up the physical universe of the MCU and like there's other worlds and there's other realms and there's aliens and they interact with Earth and Earth can interact with them. It's just
yeah.
it's a lot.
Yeah, exactly. And also for me, I'm like, all right, here we get introduced with Clint Barton. We get see a
I'm
lot.
so dumb.
Yeah, I know. He was all like, all right, that's the end of my character. I
Yep.
didn't even do anything. But I remembered him being in it, and he's in it as
Yep.
little as it is, but it introduces him. And then we get to see more of Agent Coulson, which I was like, man, like even when he's like taking things away
This
from
is him at his
from
prime, bro.
yeah, dude, he's he knows he's like, yeah, this sucks, but I'm trying to be really nice about it, you
Dude,
know?
he's like the
He's like,
Paramount like suit, like the Paramount company
yeah,
man, bro. It's
yeah,
like
yeah, it's awesome.
I
It's
think
awesome.
honestly this might be his best movie. Because in a we'll
Mhm.
get to it, but in the future, he doesn't come across as cool as he does here.
Yeah, I agree. And he like looked over and he saw like the badge and it was falsified, and he was still like, ah, yeah, take him.
Let's see what
Just because
happens.
he's like, we're not going to get anywhere with him being in this jail
Yeah,
cell, so let's just let him out and follow him, which is like super cool. And we get to see that. We saw, of course, in the end credit scene, we'll get to it, but we
dude.
get
Also,
introduced to
talking about
Tesseract.
Coulson, he gave Clint Barton orders. Like he was head honcho, and it's like I had
Hmm.
forgotten like just how high up Clint
Yeah,
was. Like I
he
don't think
was
he was Nick
third
Fury's.
hand man.
Yeah, like he was like one of the top lieutenants. Like,
Mhm.
hey, you go take care of this for me.
Exactly.
And Nick Fury,
Yeah.
it's cool. It's cool.
Speaking of Coulson, I think the best joke in this whole movie was when Thor refers to Agent Coulson. By the way, it's a
Yeah,
marvelous fact.
son of Cole.
Refers, yeah, son of Cole,
Yeah,
misinterpreting the
that was
last name of
great.
Cole's son in
Yeah,
the way that Norse culture constructs surnames.
yeah,
Odin's son becomes Odin's son.
yeah.
That is
I did
that
see
was
that. That was
great.
great.
Son of Cole. That was awesome. But yeah, like there's so much that's introduced in this. I think it's definitely number one spot.
Yeah, it got me excited to see Natalie Portman as her version of Thor.
Yeah, I'm really intrigued to see where they're gonna go with her. Um, I so in this one there was a fact that I didn't put in, but she was really excited with the fact that the director was making a MCU movie and it was going to be Thor, and she was like, "Oh, I have to be in it," kind of thing, and that's why she went on board. I have the feeling that after the second one, she kind of regretted her decision. And the
Yeah,
only way to get her back was like, hey, we're going to do your character justice.
you're the main
Because in
character.
this, yeah, right? Because in this, uh, it looks like Danny's not going to show up. Sorry.
Weak
In
sauce.
this, she's very much like damsel in distress, like, oh my God, Thor. Which, again, I was thinking about it and I'm like, okay, there's this really logical scientist, and she's like, not really, she's not a genius, but she's incredibly smart,
She
and
isn't super
she's,
rational though. Like she does love to chase like super dangerous stuff and like do
that's
really
true.
like brash things.
That's true. But I'm like, I don't know. You knew this guy for what, 5 days, maybe?
I don't think it's that long, bro. I think it's like two
And
days.
he's like, he goes from being a jerk that's just ripped to being
Yeah, but
like, hey,
he's not
I'm gonna do
actively
everything.
mean to her. He's just like kind of
Sure.
like a rude person, you
Yeah,
know? He's like, I like this drink, give me more. He's not like, wench, get me more coffee. You know what I
that's
mean?
true. That's true. Yeah. But like still,
Dude, and
like
think about it, dude. Some
they
girls are
make it
into
seem
that,
like
bro. It's like he's
that's
super
very true.
attractive and then he's like super, super confident. And it's like, that's enough for some girls. Like, just those two things are enough
That's
to get
true.
the ball
Yeah.
rolling.
Hmm. True. Speaking of Thor for a second, like man, those dyed eyebrows.
The beard looks jank too,
The
bro.
beard, yeah, the beard and the eyebrows. It's all like, and I don't. Maybe it was just me, but let me know if you notice this. There were scenes, especially like on Jotunheim, when his eyes they looked CGI blue,
Yeah, I
like they
wasn't
looked
paying
like
that much
neon
attention.
blue, and I was all like,
I believe it though. I believe it.
like I get it because in this movie they're probably like we want to make Thor seem like an a god,
Yeah.
so we want him to be like incredibly perfectly ripped. We want him to have the bluest eyes. We want him to have perfect blonde hair. We want and they wanted that Thor, and
Freaking
it's just
Hitler's wet dream.
god damn.
That was the
Yeah,
storyboard idea.
pretty much, and it's just like. No, it doesn't work. And I'm glad that after this they changed it.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, he's got blonde hair, long blonde hair, but he's a guy,
Yeah.
He's a guy with
He's an
incredible
alien.
powers, but he's a handsome alien.
Speaking of Jotunheim, I just want to mention a potential discrepancy that we'll probably get into more with Ragnarok, but Odin loses his eye fighting the ice giants.
Mm-hmm.
And this is literally like right when Loki and Thor are born. Isn't there a mural of Hela taking over everything with Odin and he has his eye patch? In Ragnarok? Yeah, so we'll have to get back on that when we watch Ragnarok. But potential, what's the word I'm looking for?
It's not loophole, but I can't think of the word either.
MacGuffin.
It's just like the story doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So plot hole.
Exactly.
Potential plot hole.
That's it. Yeah. But speaking of Jotunheim, let's talk.
Looks like a terrible place to live. Like, why did the ice giants stay there? It looks so garbage.
Yeah, they haven't found it. They haven't figured out space travel
like
yet.
The ice giants that you see in What If, like Loki and his crew. Like I don't understand how anybody could be that happy and broy living on a planet like that.
Right. Yeah.
Also, another potential plot hole. Why is Loki giant in What If? If he's like a little twig, and that's why he gets abandoned by the ice giants. You know, like was there like some magic they did, or did they give him steroids to make him normal?
He didn't know that he was a little. He looked like a small baby, but in reality, just with the planet's gravity and everything, he would have like really.
He would.
Yeah.
He's a grower, not a shower.
God damn it.
Danny's not here, so somebody's got to say the stupid things,
Speaking of Jotunheim, though, let's talk about the villain, Loki. Tom Hiddleston.
Dude, honestly, this movie is weird. Like, I don't even feel like he's the villain. I don't even feel like this story has a villain. I feel like it's more just like a tragedy, like they wanted to make some kind of tragedy. Like Odin is a little bit of a bad guy, just a tiny bit of a bad guy. Laufey is obviously a bad guy, and Loki is also the bad guy. But like, none of them are like actively like trying to be just straight up evil. Even Loki,
Yeah. I just realized I forgot to tell the budget and box office. So
your mom's house. What's
budget? 150 million. Box office of 449.
It was only 150 million to make this movie.
Yeah.
I guess
came out in April 6th of 2000.
It's really only one location, right? And it's a cheap location too, some crap town in New Mexico.
Well, and they built that whole town though.
Yeah. Really? And they did that for under 150 million?
An entire town was constructed in Galisteo, New Mexico, to serve as a fictional location for this movie.
Other than that, it's just all CG. Literally every other location is CG. Interesting.
Yeah.
I would have guessed like at least 200, 250 for budget on this movie. Can you compare it to Cap? Both how much they brought in and how much it cost, and Iron Man
First
2?
Avenger?
Yeah.
First Avenger?
Yeah.
Okay.
The movies that came before and after.
Captain America, First Avenger. That's not the budget. Oh, budget was 216 million.
Yeah.
For Captain America, First Avenger, Iron Man 2.
Man, dude, I would have never guessed that. Like, if you told people, hey, which one do you think costs more to make, Thor or Captain America? I feel like almost everybody would say Thor just because it's all like fantasy stuff, you know?
And Iron Man 2 was 200 million.
Dang, how is Thor the cheapest movie? Dude, smart people, bro. They knew, like, Thor's probably not going to be the least successful of all these movies, so let's, like, try and save as much money as we can on it.
Yeah. It's, I don't know, unfortunate, though, to me, especially when we get to the CGI
And then
stuff.
the,
Like, there's...
how much was the box office for those two as well?
I just closed it. Sorry.
Disgusting.
Iron Man's box office was 623.
So 200 million more.
And Cap was 370.
So less.
Million.
Wow. They barely made money on Cap. It was 216 and 370.
Yeah.
Dude, they may have like broken even depending on how hard they went on the marketing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Anyways, let's do some let's talk about some things with Loki. Did you know that Tom Hiddleston actually auditioned for Thor?
Have you seen the tape?
I have.
You should throw it up. It's pretty legit. In the edit, you should throw it up.
We'll see.
It's pretty legit.
It's interesting. Yeah.
I don't know what he was thinking.
I don't know either.
It worked out. Worked out though.
Yeah, it did. And already mentioned that one. Yeah, apparently Alexander Skarsgård was one of the actors in the running for the role of Thor as well, primarily for his physical appearance. Alexander's father, Stalin, landed a role in this movie as Professor Eric Selvig. Stellan, sorry.
That'd be hilarious. Stalin. I can see it.
Yeah. And then also Tom Hiddleston found Loki's helmet very uncomfortable as it was heavy to wear and he couldn't see properly out of it. He channeled this discomfort into Loki's battle scenes.
It shows, bro. Dude, I look at his helmet. It's like, how is it not like just like falling forward off because of the giant dumb horns that he has?
As well with Thor, we only see him wear the helmet at the very beginning of this movie, and I don't think we get to see him wear a helmet even close to it until Ragnarok.
Yeah. Does that bother you though?
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't. I think the helmet's stupid.
Really?
Yeah, even in the comics, I think it's pretty stupid.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I view it like it needs to be at least a little more comic accurate. So like in Ragnarok with the like new adjusted helmet, I'm like, that's totally fine. He just needs to have something, you know?
Yeah, for me, it's like, I get that he's a Viking mythological character, but like you're talking about a god, and in comparison to everything else, that helmet just looks so like cheap and gimmicky. And I feel like it just cheapens his whole look when he wears the helmet. Whereas when he takes it off, he just looks like a regal, awesome guy. Where it's interesting because with Odin, I think it works fine. But see, I feel like Odin is more of just that king figure as opposed to a warrior figure. So I think that might be why.
Yeah, I could see that. Back to the villain though. Let's talk about where we would rank Loki in the villain.
Man, it stinks because he's so good.
Yeah. Man. So
dude, I have a weird situation.
Number 1, we have Obadiah as 2, and Abomination as 3.
Obviously over Abomination. He's like right there with Obadiah.
What?
But the thing is, here, listen to me out. It's got a similar situation with Obadiah where you don't even realize he's the bad guy until like halfway through the movie. And then 2, he's even more like harder to pin down because Obadiah was just a straight bad guy, where Loki was not. Like at no point, I don't even think at any point Loki was actively trying to kill Thor. Like he didn't even want to kill Thor. Like that was never part of it. He didn't want to kill his dad. Like the most evil thing he wanted to do was kill the ice giants, which Thor wanted to do at the beginning of the movie. So it's like, how evil is that really? You know? So it's like,
Yeah.
I feel like we have to rank a villain, and if we're gonna rank a villain, it's Loki. But to me, he's like not even a villain, dude. He's just like the antagonist, you know?
Yeah, but that's what a villain is, right?
No, not always. It's an antagonist and a villain are not the same thing, bro. An antagonist is just someone working against the protagonist.
I guess so, yeah. I guess so.
But that being
I would,
said, his acting is super good,
yeah.
but his action scenes are
Honestly,
bleh, you know? Like they're just as bad as whiplashes.
there was that one fighting scene between Thor and him. It's pretty bad. When he's got the hammer and he's got the spear, it looks so clunky. It nothing feels like it has weight or anything. It's just fall on the ground. It seems like two children playing. Which is
Yeah.
no, it wasn't good. But I think his acting is the best in this movie, other than Odin.
I think it's better than Odin.
Really?
Odin's whole, oh, you're telling me I'm bad because I lied to you. I'm gonna just fall down now. Like that was
I
really
think that
bad, bro.
makes sense in a story wise. But like, dude, when he's telling Thor that he's been banished,
No,
that
he's
scene,
great. I think he's great. I just still think
that's my
Loki's
favorite scene of
better.
the movie, dude. Where he's
Really?
all like, you're not worthy, and he starts ripping off his like the little like circle things, which are like medals, like of honor and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. And then Loki tries to back him up, and he's just which is apparently director Kenneth
Kenneth Branagh.
Branagh um, asked Sir Anthony Hopkins to improvise his reaction to Thor yelling at him in the banishment scene. Hopkins agreed, and when the scene was filmed, many of the cast and crew members present were sobbing.
Dude, I know.
They
Hold up. I
okay.
know Loki and Anthony Hopkins like really did good, but Thor did really good, bro.
You think so?
Like I bought him the entire time. And there's a couple moments like that scene where he's yelling at his dad and it's like, yeah, like I buy, not I agree with him, but I buy that he's that arrogant and stupid that he would say that. Like that's props, bro. Props to freaking Chris Hemsworth. This is like his first big time movie and he's up there with freaking Anthony Hopkins. Freaking I think Academy Award winner, if not at least nominated. And he's like right there, dude. And it's like
Held his own in the scene,
when
yeah.
when he can't get the hammer, like that was a solid scene. When he's talking to Loki in the interrogation room, that was a solid scene. It's like not Loki, freaking Thor, Chris Hemsworth. He did really good in this movie.
Yeah. I guess the leads in general did really good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I haven't seen this movie in a long time, and I remember specifically that scene
Hmm.
was dope. And apparently it was even improvised, which is like even cooler. It's just like there's so much said in the "Arr!" and it's so like visceral as well
Yeah.
that I'm just like that was awesome. I loved it. But I don't know. For me, I think Loki's number one, just because
Yeah, you got to put him number one because he's just more well rounded. He's
yeah,
more
he's more
believable.
well-rounded. He's going to be more important in the MCU, and we're gonna talk about
That
whether we're
shouldn't
gonna
matter
have to
though.
rank him again in the Avengers, or if it's still
Nah,
gonna be the
I don't.
same rank.
I think.
But
Well, we'll talk about it then. We'll talk
yeah,
about it then. Um, he's just
but
more believable, more relatable,
hmm
and
and it's just like
he's also smarter. He's smarter
yeah,
than the other villains that we've seen so far.
hmm yeah. And there's a reason why they decided to keep Loki around
Yeah.
after this movie. I'm sure at this point they were like trying to figure out who is going to be the villain and
No, I
everything.
bet they knew already at this point.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess yeah, because Avengers was
Dude, I
going to
feel
come
like
out
this movie
a
is
year
more
or
of
two
like
later.
a villain origin story than him just being a villain. You know what I mean?
hmm hmm but it's great motivation for like I think the motivation was really good because even while you're watching, Miriam was like, "But why would he even like bring the ice giants to Asgard and everything if he didn't want his father dead. And then like right when she asked that, he's like, why? He's like, I didn't even want you dead. I wanted to, I wanted to prove myself as your son.
Mm-hmm.
And that was his motivation. That's so much better than just being like, I want to destroy everything.
I know, right?
Because I hate you all,
One thing though, it works. I feel like I'm being nitpicky, but it's a little weird to me that like his brother loves him, his mother loves him, his father loves him. Maybe he favors Thor a little bit, but definitely not to an extreme amount. And still he's like, I need to do all these schemings to take over, and oh my god, you lied to me, and now I'm going to be evil. And it's like, really, bro? It's like, yes, it's a big deal that you were lied to your whole life. And yes, it's not great that you were a little bit pushed to the side because of Thor. But like, is that really enough to try and overthrow your entire government?
Yeah.
It's just a lot. It's a lot for me to buy that he'd be so bitter and upset when like literally everybody loved him.
But again, on the other side of that coin, for me, it's a lot trying to buy that there's that switch for Thor where he's just like, you know what? I'm just going to be a chill guy. I was completely wrong this whole time. My life has changed.
I agree with you. But he was like severely humble, bro. Like he literally went from being a god to being a nobody, bro. Like not even like going from being a boss to a nobody or being a president to a nobody. He went from being a god to being a nobody, bro. So it's like, that is such a humbling experience. And if you just accept that, like, yeah, dude, that's going to wake you up like that.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyways, Loki number 1.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Now we rank RDJ performances. Just kidding. He wasn't in this movie.
This is his best performance.
Let's rank the CGI, the one I've been waiting for. Because for me,
it's better than Hulk. Screw you. It's better than Hulk.
What? No,
it's better than Hulk.
So I thought about it. I disagree. Hulk was never, okay, I can't say never, but Hulk was most of the time, it was like, yeah, this looks a little off, but,
what?
But it's dark,
No, dude. Abomination and Hulk look bad, bro.
Yes, but dude, this took me out several times.
The Destroyer looks great,
scene, dude. Yeah, the Destroyer looks great, but you know what's weird about it is the movement that Sif has trying to fight the Destroyer looked weird.
I'll give you that. Like
ice giant movements looked weird. All the big bosses, like even when they go to Jotunheim and there's that big like orc looking thing, that thing looked great. But Thor passing through him didn't look great.
I thought it was fine. What was wrong with that part? You're right, dude. There's a scene specifically that my wife pointed out where that like troll thing is like literally like claw like inches away from Sif, and like it doesn't like Sif looks like she doesn't even know he's behind him, and it's like it's because she doesn't feel like he's behind him because they're in a green screen, and you're totally right about that. But it looks good. Like yes, the animation and the mesh of live action and CG is not great, but it looks good. Sure. Whereas in Hulk, any still frame of a CG thing looks not horrible, but it looks bad.
I guess so. But like even like when they try to introduce when they are going back to Asgard, and we get to see Asgard like flip and everything, and it's like a slow moving all that looked pretty bad to me too.
Yeah, it did look super CG.
So I'm like, I don't know. I think the biggest thing in this movie is they bit off more than they could chew.
You're high, bro. This is not worse than Hulk, bro. Abomination looks terrible in the Hulk, dude. He looks so bad. And Hulk does not look much better.
I guess.
The Destroyer looks great. That troll thing looks great. Yeah. It's the actors, and honestly, it's not the actors, it's the director's inability to make them feel like they're being chased by a troll, but the CG looks great. It's the direction that's the problem.
I would say in some cases you're right. Like in that with the control, yeah. But like, I don't know, man.
And dude, you're right. Like that huge sweeping shot of Asgard looks bad, looks dated, looks fake.
Yeah.
But once you're in the interiors, like the throne room,
oh yeah,
like that looks great, dude. And that's CG. So I can't, like, how are you going to take a movie like Hulk, where every time you see a CG thing, it looks bad, and say it's better than something like Thor, where half the things you see look great and half of them look bad?
All right. Yeah,
you're crazy, dude. You're
crazy. You convinced me there. Fine. It's Iron Man 2. I'm sorry, Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
Thor, Hulk.
Yeah.
Thor is number 3 on the CGI list.
I do appreciate, though, that Laufey was practical. It's makeup and prosthetics. I appreciate that, because it gives him more menace than if he's just a CG character like the rest of his little minions.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think the Destroyer looked great, dude.
The Destroyer looked great, yeah.
I think that alone puts it above the Hulk. Like, let's compare CG characters, and Thor wins.
Man, rank the soundtrack. Like, I don't even know where to start with this.
Or it automatically loses a place because the end credit music is Foo Fighters.
I didn't even realize that.
It ages it so bad, bro. It's Foo Fighters, like, oh crap! Do you remember the name of the song? I think it is Walk.
I think I saw.
And it's like, I understand why they put that as the end credit scene, because like the song is about a guy like going through a journey and changing like Thor did. But it's like, bro, this does not fit Thor in any way, shape, or form, bro. Like, it is so early 2010s, dude.
Is what even sucks even more is that I read a fact that the end credit scene took them like 10 months to make or something, because they went and they tried to copy it exactly from what the Hubble telescope was able to like get or something. I don't know. I don't remember the fact exactly, but it was like they worked really hard on that end credit scene. It's like, well, that wasn't worth it, guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't remember. Other than that, I don't remember anything about this soundtrack. So I know it goes under.
I really don't. It might be. It is right there with freaking Hulk.
Yeah.
Because I can literally remember nothing from either of them.
And by the way, I finished watching Thor today. Like, I watched it first half yesterday and I finished it.
No, I watched all of it today.
Oh, you watched all of it? Yeah, it's just like, I don't remember anything about this soundtrack.
Damn, that's sad, dude. That's brutal.
Yeah. So what do we say? We say above the Hulk or under the Hulk?
It's above the Hulk. Default is above the Hulk.
Because the Hulk is just
you have to earn it to get below the Hulk. All right, I'm not just putting things below the Hulk just cause. Like, you have to earn being below the Hulk.
Or you have to earn the top spot and you have to earn the bottom spot.
Yeah, exactly. You're not just getting it. The Hulk takes pride in being the worst MCU movie.
Yeah. Okay. So Iron Man 2, Thor, Incredible Hulk for soundtrack. You wanted to add one here. Tom Hiddleston's performance.
Right. I mean, it's at the top right now. He did great.
Oh, yeah, it's
he killed it. But... So relatable, so believable. He did great.
Yeah. There was that one when when he's talking to Thor
at the end,
and he's so angry and he's like tearing up and everything. I was like, wow.
Freaking oiled it.
Yeah.
And again, first time acting.
He looks so young. Holy crap.
Yeah, he does look young. But again, like, first time on the big stage, dude. Freaking knocks it out of the park, dude. So good.
I think he did a lot of live
oh yeah, yeah. He's not like it's his first thing.
Yeah,
but it's his first big blockbuster movie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna get through some of these
fabulous facts
real quick. Fabulous facts. Chris Hemsworth bulked up to such an extent before his screen test that the original costume, which was designed for a specific size, began cutting the circulation off in his arms and legs when he tried it on for the first time.
That sucks. Good for him.
And speaking of which,
damn
have you
Australian
seen
jeans.
him in the new
I know,
Love and
dude.
Thunder?
It's crazy, dude. You look at him at this movie, and he's a freaking mammoth. And then you see the shots for Love and Thunder, and it's like, dude, are
You're
you
like,
okay?
what?
Are you
Yeah.
okay?
Have you seen the training that he's going through, dude?
No, not really.
It looks like he's like it
He's
looks
getting
like it
bolts,
hurts,
man.
and he said it hurts. So I'm pretty sure it hurts. But it's like,
That's crazy.
yeah, it's brutal. It's brutal.
Well,
Apparently,
he's
he
gotta,
has like
like-
these. He used these things on his arms that would like restrict his movements.
Yeah.
So it's like it's like restricting a muscle and then trying to work it out at the same time, and then he released it right after his workout, and it was like supposed to increase muscle mass by 2-3%, or like times it, like double it.
It looks like it.
Yeah, it's crazy. But also another quick one, since we're talking about Thor, is the crater that is created by the impact of Thor's hammer Mjolnir forms the design of Captain America's shield. Cool little fun fact.
Interesting. Okay, that's cute.
But
do you know who we need to get sponsored by?
Who do we need to sponsor?
Steel Series.
Oh,
that's who we need to get sponsored by.
We both got Steel Series on.
Dude, that's when I know when we made it. Dude, if they send
when we get a sponsor, period, dude.
No, that's great. But like in Steel Series, like, hey, we'd like to sponsor you guys, like, don't even read it. Just say yes. Just send it to them and say yes. Yeah, right. I don't even care if they don't pay us. It's just symbolic for me that we got sponsored by them.
This episode is brought to you by
your Steel mom's Series.
House. What action sequence should we decide on this one?
The Jotunheim fight at the beginning is such a CG fest.
Yeah.
The final fight is like in New Mexico.
Oh, in New Mexico.
Dude, it's funny. The best fight scene is the one where he doesn't have his powers, when he's infiltrating the base.
Yeah.
Dude, I watched that movie and I was like, or that scene, and I was like, I'm so glad he went on to do other action movies, because this is great. Like, he does such a good job in that scene. Mm-hmm. So, dude, it's probably gonna beat Iron Man 2, in my opinion. I also love brawler type action scenes, so that's like on me. But like, yeah, give us the current ranking. But I think it's gonna beat Iron Man 2.
Right now we have Iron Man Golmira fight number 1. Number 2 is Iron Man 2's Stark Expo final fight, and on 28, whatever it is, the Incredible Hulk versus Abomination, New York.
Yeah, so it's obviously better than Abomination, because that's just a mess.
But which fight specifically are we choosing?
We're gonna do the infiltration into the shield base.
So shield base fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't give it to him. I know.
I can do it. Do you want me to do it? No.
How about now?
Okay.
No.
No. Oh, okay.
All right, this is your last chance. Okay. I can't put it above Iron Man 2. Just because, like, even though it's a really cool action sequence, it doesn't have any huge wow factor. Mm-hmm. And that Iron Man 2, just with the wrist laser thing, I think that is what just takes it just above it. Is it just gives it that wow factor that just makes it more memorable. It's like, I remember that laser scene, and I did not remember this fight. So I think Iron Man stays above it, but it punches above its weight class. That little fight scene punches above its weight class. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And there's a reason why we're choosing this fight, because it's, in our opinion, the best fight. So we're trying to put the best,
we're going to give it its best
possible
shot.
Fights. Yeah, its best shot to be on this list. So that's the best fight scene for us.
Because like the biggest set piece is probably that first fight in Jotunheim.
Yeah.
But it's like, that is not that good of a fight scene.
Yeah. Just because of all the weird visuals.
Yeah, bad.
But dude, did you notice that Sif's shield is that small?
Yeah, it's tiny.
They changed her costume up later on, thank God, because in this one, it's just like, what are you supposed to do?
Bro, that's not that weird, bro. That shield is for like parrying blades. That's not that weird. Like, a sword's coming at you, that's just to like bop it, and then you keep going. That's not a bunch of arrows are coming, let me protect myself.
but it looks like a little toy, man. It doesn't
You know,
look
I'll
good.
give you that. You know, from a visual design, you want to do what looks the best, not what.
Mhm. And
But like
later on, she does look
better.
pretty good.
But
You know, she looks like a
historically,
warrior.
like those shields are
Sure.
like super common.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah, there was the little round
Yeah,
ones
you were
that the
so invested in this, bro. I was like I feel like you came into this movie not critical, but like, okay, I want to see everything. I want to see,
Mhm.
which is great, you know, because that's what we're doing here. But I came into this movie just like, yeah, throw it on. It's Thor. I already know where it's gonna be, and then I just got pleasantly surprised here and there,
Uh-huh.
and then everything else was like, yeah, I mean, yeah, whatever.
That's why I'm the host, all right? um okay, so it's at number
3.
3. Yeah. So now it's time to rank that or guess the Rotten Tomato score.
It's the prices. I mean, the Rotten Tomato score is right.
Oh, Nate, guess what the Rotten Tomato score for
Oh
Thor
man,
is.
can you remind me what they gave Iron Man 2? Didn't they give it like a 72?
Let me check real quick. They gave it 72.
69.
69?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say 65.
Because this is worse than Iron Man 2. And if the
Yeah.
critics make it better than Iron Man 2, they're freaking high, dude.
Let me find it
Watch
real
it be
quick.
like 70 or 71 or 72.
Thor's Rotten Tomato score is
75.
77.
They really like it that much more? Well, I'm closer than you were, so suck it.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
Yes, you went on that one.
crazy. They think it's half of a point better
No.
than Iron Man 2.
Yeah. Jeez.
It is not,
That's
dude.
crazy.
Man, I wonder if just like the last tendrils of like the Lord of the Rings fantasy was still just like
It's 2011.
giving people the beer goggles. I know, dude.
I don't know.
That don't make no
That's
sense.
weird.
That don't make no
Dude,
sense.
I just scrolled down. This has the same Rotten Tomato score as Fast 5.
Which one? What happened in Fast 5?
Fast 5 is when they take
They're
the
in
bank
Brazil?
and yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Well,
I think Fast 5 is way better than this
no.
movie. I'm just saying.
Fast 5 is 77. Thor is not 77.
Okay, there we go. That's a better way to put it. Thank you. Yeah. Man, that is crazy.
Man, critics are idiots. Straight up. Like, a lot of the time. Dude, no, bro, no, they're wrong. I don't think Iron Man 2 is a 72. I think it's more like a 75. I could see an argument for 7. Like, it should legit be flipped. Iron Man 2 should be like a 77. No, Iron Man 2 should be a 75. And I'm okay with Thor at 72.
I'd agree with that.
People are high, bro.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do. This is a long fact, but it's very important. The artifacts seen in the Asgard weapon vault are the various mystical objects seen in the Marvel comics. They are in chronological appearance. The tuning fork, a device that can summon monsters. The tablet of life and death, a slab that can extend one's lifetime. The warlock's eye, an anti-craft that can control people's minds. The eternal flame, a mystical a mystical
An
fire that
eternal
cannot be
file that
extinguished.
you could never download.
Plays a major role in Ragnarok. The casket of ancient winters, an enhanced container filled with frosty winds, of course, plays a major role in this movie. And the Infinity Gauntlet, a glove encrusted with 6 reality-bending jewels. As later on in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Thanos started constructing the Infinity Gauntlet. But in Ragnarok, they fixed this inconsistency by having Hela claim that the gauntlet and some of the items in the vaults were fake.
Knockoffs. Yeah, I forgot about that.
But yeah, for a long time, everyone was all like, "Oh, the Infinity Gauntlet already exists. He's just going to go to Asgard and take it."
Mm.
But no, sir.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that it's like, okay, he supposedly invented this gauntlet and supposedly, like super important that he created it for these gems specifically, and there was a knockoff somehow. I'll just let it slide. I'll just let it
What
slide.
I wanted to say is that it definitely feels like Odin is like this just hardcore badass that is just like done with that. And thinking about that, it makes me feel that like Thanos kind of waited. Like, yeah, he was making his moves clearly, trying to get the Infinity Stones, killing half of a planet at a time. But it also feels like he is purposefully not making too big of a wave so that Odin doesn't come and like stomp on him.
Maybe.
Because it feels like, I don't think this Odin could stomp on Thanos, but maybe Odin 500 years before this movie could have been like, yeah, Thanos, what are you doing? And just swat him out of here. And it kind of feels like Thanos was just waiting kind of for this to be taken, for just Odin to go away, for him to then really like, okay, now's my time. Nobody can stop me.
That's actually a really cool point. I never even thought about that. Yeah, that's really cool.
So with that in mind, if Thanos is aware of Odin, Odin would probably be aware of Thanos. And at this point, he does say that the hammer was forged in the heart of a dying star, or dead star, or dying star.
Dying star. Segue. It mentions that Thor's hammer Mjolnir was forged inside of a dying star. This actually makes modicum of scientific sense.
A modicum.
So this says modicum. A modicum.
Yeah, a modicum. Sense. You say it modicum.
Oh, okay. A modicum, sorry. When a very large star dies in a supernova, sometimes it remains collapsed to form a neutron star. These objects cram the mass of the sun into the size of a city, forming a new kind of matter nicknamed neutronium. A single teaspoon of this material would weigh billions of tons. If Mjolnir was made out of this material, it would certainly explain its incredible weight.
Oh, that's cool. I don't think that's at all what they were going for.
Yeah, I know, but it's cool that there's like some scientific basis to it. Loosely, very loosely.
No, dude, because the hammer is Uru metal, and it's heavy because it's not that it's heavy; it's that it has a spell.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Is the star that we see in the Dead Star that Thor turns back on, that we see in Infinity War, the same star?
I have no idea.
I think it is.
It definitely would make sense. Wait, yeah, because didn't the dwarf say that he made Mjolnir?
Yeah, I think he did.
We're gonna have to revisit. We're gonna have to talk about that when we
if we remember, which we won't.
Because it's gonna be way down the road. But
write it down, Winston. Put it in one of the lists, just as like a footnote somewhere. Like literally, just go to one of the lists and then write footnote and be like, "Is Mjolnir star same as Infinity War star? Starforge. Call it Starforge, because then we'll remember."
Okay, cool. Hopefully I see that. Anyways, second to last list. After credit scene.
I didn't watch it. I forgot that there's an after credit scene. What the hell is it?
It's the scientist going in and talking to Nick Fury, and Nick Fury being like, sometimes myth or legend and fact meet together, and he shows him the Tesseract, and then
Eric
it showed
Selvig?
that, yeah, then it shows that Loki is like controlling Eric Selvig.
Yeah,
Eric Selvig. I cannot speak today. I'm sorry. I think, if I may speak first, this is number one.
It shows a Tesseract, which is pretty cool. It shows Loki actually like directly ties into Avengers. What's Iron Man 2's post-credit scene?
just showing Thor's hammer.
Yeah,
It's
this
Coulson
is
going to New
easily
Mexico.
number one.
Yeah, agreed.
Easily number one.
Sweet. Last but not least, where do you rank this in the MCU, Nate?
It's below Iron Man 2. And Iron Man 2 just has so many like super cool moments, like the suitcase suit, and the freaking
The best Iron Man suit, you mean?
the gimmickiest Iron Man suit, and the freaking arm lasers. And like Thor doesn't really have that. The Destroyer is kind of cool, but not that cool. That's kind of it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I agree with you. Yeah, this is under Iron Man 2, so it's our number 3 spot. I'm intrigued to see when our lists are going to deviate, because I'm going to make lists for when we start ranking our own, and then we're going to have to debate and see where it fits in the Those Who Geek list. But yeah, I completely agree. I think Iron Man 2 has just so many more high moments than this movie has, and not high moments like cool moments.
So many more highs.
Yes,
It
so many
doesn't
more
have
highs.
that many lows though. Like most of the lows are just like little details with the CG, you know?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it is very just
Yeah, exactly.
that.
But it's still somehow better than I remembered, you know? Like I remember Thor being like so boring, and I was pretty entertained
I
this whole
think the
movie.
Dark World taints it, bro. I think the
Yeah,
Dark World
I'm pretty
just like
sure.
taints it because the Dark World is really dumb sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Yeah.
well, that
My
is
first thought when I watched this movie was like, why is Thor so serious?
right.
That's
Yeah.
just how much they've changed this character. Like he's just but yeah, in the beginning he was so serious. Like he was funny by accident, not because he was trying to be funny
Yeah.
in this movie. The few times that he is funny.
I missed one more fact. Dr. Selvig mentions a comrade who mixed up with
Oh
Shields,
yeah, who the heck is that?
who he described as a pioneer in gamma radiation. This alludes to
Not
Bruce
that
Banner.
one. That's not who I was talking about.
Oh, well, if this alludes to Bruce Banner, who's, of course, he experiments in gamma radiation mutation. But a deleted scene also has him mention Hank Pym from Ant-Man.
Okay, I think that's who they were talking about. Because there's another scene where Eric is talking to Natalie Portman's character, and she's like, "Hey, I have a colleague that has dealt with Shield before. Let me call him and see if I can get this figured out." And
I bet it's
Kaylin
Hank
asked
Pym.
me like, "Who is that?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm sure they'll talk about it later. They never did. We forgot about it." And then I'm sure it's Hank Pym. I'm sure in passing, because Hank Pym wasn't just got involved with Shield. He was like one of the big dogs at Shield for a long time. So I think
Exactly.
they probably had in passing. It's like, hey guy, I know you like me. Can you like just ask about this for me real quick? And then that was it.
Yeah. But yeah, that is our ranking
Our
of
revisitation of
Thor. A
Thor.
revisitation of Thor. We are getting close to finishing phase 1.
2 movies.
2 more movies. What's the next movie, Nate?
Capitan America, the first
Avenger.
Avenger.
That's right. So we'll see where that one leads. But yeah, until next time, have a marvelous day.
Peace.
Stay frosty.